Yeah, Mr. Shim, today during the dinner, you broke the silence and mentioned this Turkey earthquake. And last time we also, talked about what happened in Korea during that 万圣节, which is Halloween in English. Yeah. So you see, a lot of precious lives are being destroyed every day all over the world, right? China, as we already know, that the reality is that in the past 3 years, Chinese government covered it up, but the real death number is 400 million. And so after the white paper movement, China as if suddenly adopted, the new open policy. I actually heard my best friend recently returned to China because the Chinese government is telling the whole world that the whole situation now again is calmed down and now it's good to travel. So all the Chinese people are encouraged to leave China and go all over the world. And all the people outside of China during the 3 years of this global plague, since China had a very serious zero policy, a lot of people, they cannot be with their parents for 3 years, and they very eager to go embrace their family members and friends. So right now, I think a lot of people are trying to enter China. Those, they believe in the Chinese government's news. If they watch the regular news, so-called regular, the Chinese news, CCP news, a lot of Chinese people will say, now it's time, safe, we're going to go back to China now, So this is pretty much the current situation right now. But I want to say something. I think it probably is going to be a time upcoming that some biggest disasters, that mankind has never really experienced before, it's going to come one after another. I start to feel, this is like 2023. It's going to be a turning point, I believe. I believe that those who were given many, many opportunities to turn their mind around from have no faith in God, only believe in atheism, only believe in evolution theory, and view themselves an animal, and do whatever they think they want to do to pursue for money, power, and women, and do a lot of immoral deeds. And at this moment, quite a lot of people, they still are alive. Right now, these kind of people, homosexual practitioners, marijuana practitioners, cocaine practitioners, adultery practitioners, all those people, abortion practitioners, right? They're still alive at this moment. But I want to say something to these people. Stop it. Stop it. Before it's way too late. Because you have a beautiful human body. Do you know how beautiful your body is? Do you know how magnificent your body is? If you just delve into the molecular level, you shall know that this body is so beautiful, so incredibly, wise. The strategies that is going on in our body to maintain our daily existence, if you just know how incredible you are, You are the masterpiece. You are the masterpiece of our Creator. Our Creator designed this most incredible system for you to be able to stay in this dimension on the earth. Earth is not coming from evolution. It is created. You are not from evolution, from monkey. You are created. Okay? Look at this lotus flower that I just finished folding today. Okay? And you look at this lotus flower and you see, there is a design. It didn't come from evolution. It's not from the wind blow the pieces of papers and then they come into order of this precision of one petal after another, layer upon layer. Okay, this lotus flower, even so simple, it requires design. It requires precision to make it into this shape. Do you know, in comparison to this lotus flower, our human body? Do you know how complicated, how incredibly complicated and precise, and the layers upon layers of existence of our human body? Even this simple lotus flower, in your mind, you probably can never imagine the random force can put them into a lotus flower, let alone to say your incredibly beautiful human body with billions and billions of strategies every moment. And the life phenomena that's going on in our body, if you just learn something of the frontier life science field, like me, I spent so many years to study our human body, to study the formation of our human body, to study how a fertilized egg, turn it into a little baby. If you really know what the most frontier modern life science research that every one of us, pay tax dollars. Those tax dollars put together and to give to those scientists to study. The scientists have discovered incredible stuff. But sadly, it's not being taught to the children. What's being taught to our children right now in the public school, it's totally outdated. Not only outdated, but selective. Not only selective, but it has an agenda behind the selection. The agenda is to promote lies, atheism, arrogance, and let the children believe that we are just coming from evolution, random action, competition for survival. We are animals, and we only live one life. It's a lie. Total lie. Okay, so why on the day of Halloween, so many beautiful Korean ladies, young men, young women, they lost their life in the most horrible way. They got stabbed to death, scorched to death, Now today, Turkey, suddenly an earthquake of 7.8 and so many people died. Why they die? Why their beautiful body has to turn into ashes? Do you know, just this table, right? Look at this table. If we just burn this table now, do you feel very sorry? So sorry, because it takes a lot of effort to build this table, and it's useful. But do you know how much more complication and the work to create a human body? The human body is billions of times more complicated and precious than this table. But right now they're being burned into ashes every day. We don't know how much horrible things that the mankind has done today to this degree that the divine is watching this most precious creation that divine created, so carefully maintained, so carefully wanting this beautiful life to continue, and watching all these bodies are being burned into ashes. Mm-hmm. It's so horrible. Why? This is going on. You, Mr. Shim, immediately mentioned about the Bible story. What's most interesting is that last night I was watching also the Bible story about that evil city that the Jewish God decided to destroy. And Abraham bargained with the God of the Jewish race. Please don't destroy it. If I can find just 10 good people, please don't destroy the city. And the God says, I hope so, I agree. Go, try to find 10 good people, right? Ended up the 2 angels entered into the city, and the evil people want to rape them. They had to run for life. So when God decided to destroy a city, Abraham using human emotion, thinking maybe God made a mistake. I'm going to bargain with God for saving that city. The reality is that God sees very clearly that that city has to be destroyed. There's no more good people left. That's why God wanted to destroy it. Now, why God agreed with Abraham's bargaining? Because God knows that Abraham wants to have more people live. If God doesn't let Abraham go through that process, Abraham will lose faith in God. So God let Abraham go through the process to see that this God is trustworthy. Abraham's faith towards God, at the very beginning, he constantly disobeyed God's warning and instruction. God tells him to go there, he goes there. You know what I mean? God tells him that he's going to have a child with his wife. He saw that his wife is too old. And the wife also doesn't believe God's saying. The wife thought, I'm so old, there's no chance I'm going to have a baby. Let my servant have a baby. So they all disobey God. They think they're smarter. They think they're smarter than God, with their human mind. They constantly disobey God. God doesn't punish them because God sees that fundamentally they are good and let them make mistakes. But ultimately, show them that God's word is 100% correct. Never doubt about God's word. You know what I mean? So, God has told us through messengers throughout the human history that premarital sex is no. Adultery is no. Homosexuality is no. Abortion is no. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It is written. It is recorded. All the horrible consequences of those behaviors there before us were countless amount of cases of horrible consequence of those who committed wrong. You think we are now smarter than God because we build a computer? Because we now can shoot a satellite and a spaceship into the space? We think that the moon has nothing but just dust. And all the fairy tales were wrong? You don't want to try to be smart because you just failed to see the truth. You're failing to see the truth. That doesn't justify that the truth that has been told by God is wrong. Do you know what I mean? Don't pretend you are smart. If you think you are so smart, you keep on doing wrong things, maybe one day you finally see the truth. But most likely, for most people, will be too late. But those people who really think they are smarties, we really know what's going on. We don't want to go believe in God. We believe ourselves. We're going to conquer nature, right? Do you know what happened? They died. After they die, they start to have the death experience. After they encountered God, when they died, God told them, go back to the human world and tell the living human beings your experience and let them know that there is really hell and heaven. It's no joke. So yesterday I also watched some videos about called near-death experience. Basically, those people were pronounced to be dead, and then 1 hour later or several hours later, they came back to be alive again. And then they start to tell what happened to them after they died. And some went to the hell. And they saw one interesting thing is that one guy, African American man, he died. He went into hell. He thought, I'm a good man, always. I'm a good man. Why I go to hell? He went to hell. And he saw one man was like a dog with a chain around the neck and terribly tortured, burning whole body. The body is constantly burning and painful, eyes bulging out. And the chain was being dragged along by a devil. And he was enlightened to the fact that this man was controlled by the devil all his life. And now he goes to hell, And the music that right now, rock and roll, popular music in America, it was the devil's music. The devil's music entered the human world to control humans' mind and bring these people who love devil's music go down to the hell, you see? So those are the people who really, experienced hell, then came back to the human world and warned people about it. And there were also people who left the earth and went into new place and see the beautiful new earth, right, the future. So there are a lot of very important warning signals right now on the internet. And, Turkey have earthquake. China has constantly, people are dying every day. And all over the world, every day has disaster. The Ukraine war is still going on, right? So let's not forget, right now, we really need to stop all those immoral activities because it really concerns about where ultimately the destination of ourselves. So as moral teachers, I just want to say that every time when we see a news, we shall take the opportunity to warn our fellow human beings and don't do wrong things. Be kind, be good, stay good, and be moral. And again, I will say Master Li's lecture to all mankind, why mankind comes into being. Everybody needs to read it. Read it very carefully. From this teaching, we're going to be able to remember who we are, why we are here, where are we going, how we're going to get there. You know what I mean? Very fundamental teachings of morality. Okay? Yeah, thanks.